everybody's doing well today. Wolfman Walsh and I decided to take a little camping trip, and he picked us a hell of a spot here. It's a really nice little spot here in Roan Mountain State Park. What's up, Walsh?
What's up?
He got us a spot here by the creek, so pretty great. So we're going to be using a whole bunch of gear out on this trip that we're not necessarily reviewing, but just going to be talking about. I brought with me a few surprises, so we'll show those to y'all in just a little bit. But yeah, just off the bat, I wanted to show you guys the campsite, and we're going to be getting into it. So see y'all soon. Hey y'all, me and Walsh here up on the trail up here to the Roan Highlands. Give y'all a little look here. Now, I showed this in my last video about the Roan Highlands, but this is a really cool little introduction to the place. You come in through this little, I don't know, what would you call this? Like a hobbit forest.
Yeah, a little hobbit forest.
Little hobbit forest. But anyway, guys, we're just gonna have some fun, shoot a little bit more video as we go along. And this time we're doing the whole hike today. So we will do all 3 balds, and I'll check in as we go along. As we're at the first bald, I gotta tell you, I can't believe the amount of wind that we're getting up here. Hopefully y'all can hear me all right. Hopefully it's not overpowering the microphone. But it is cold as can be.
But it is beautiful.
It is beautiful, that is the truth. Just gorgeous out here. So as we go on, maybe it'll warm up a little bit, but right now, yeah, just enjoying the scenery. Well, guys, we are quite literally up among the clouds here. This is crazy. I've never been up here when it was like this. It's just crazy. So there's Roan Mountain right there. And I can't remember the name of the ball that we were on. If I figure it out, I'll pop it up in some text on the screen. And you can see the 2 balls. There's one right there ahead of us, and one right here. So in a minute here, we're gonna pull some gear out, talk some knives real quick, and carry on.
All right, guys, up first for me, I have a new Condor neck knife. I'm getting really big into the neck knives. That's just kind of where I'm going at for some reason. I just like them. This is the new Condor Carlitos. Comes in at it's a 1075 steel. I think it's just under a 2-inch blade, if I am mistaken. I'm sure will correct me. It came with this paracord already wrapped on there, and that's actually a great feature. I have medium to large size hands depending on the gloves at work, but for me, it's kind of a 2.5 finger grip. But having that lanyard,
yeah,
really sells it. Really helps get the control that you need. Wonderful jumping on the back. I haven't got to do a lot of testing with this yet. I just got this about 2 weeks ago. We're gonna put it through its paces this weekend, see how it does against the Zula from Ezzy, which we'll see later on.
So we've got 1095 versus 1075
That's
between
right.
the Ezzy and the Carlitos. Okay.
And on the steel, the internet says there's not a big difference. We're gonna find out.
Yeah.
We're gonna test it. So
Nice.
This is the Condor Carlitos, $54 wherever you look for it. And so far, it's the most comfortable neck knife. It's the thinnest and lightest, and you don't feel it. It doesn't print.
Yeah.
So far, I'm loving it. So, know what else I'm loving? Look at that view.
Let's just take a moment to appreciate that real quick.
Welcome to North Carolina. So, in case we haven't said it yet, which we may or may not have, we are in Carver's Gap, the Tennessee line, right here in North Carolina, Tennessee, in the Roan Highlands and Roan Mountain.
And I'll say we are Tennesseans, but I think we have a deep appreciation for the beauty of North Carolina as well.
True, very true.
All right, y'all, new knife for the day. That's right, I got a new knife just for this hike with Walsh. This is the Boker Bad Guy. And let me tell you, this is about the coolest slip joint that I think I've ever seen. What we have here, listen to that. What we have here is 3.5 inches of D2 in this absolutely gorgeous swooping clip point blade. Now what this reminds me of is a Lanny's clip, and y'all know, you probably know at least, that I'm a big fan of the Lanny's clip pattern, probably my favorite traditional knife pattern. Well, what this is, it's basically just a big, angry, mean Lanny's clip. it's pretty, like that's what it reminds me of. It's just the shape of the handle, everything about it. Now this is designed by Franck Souvet. I don't know if that's the correct way to pronounce that, but he's a French knife designer.
Sounds good.
I try. So I don't know if he had inspiration from the Lanny's clip or not. It is his design, but boy, he nailed it. I think this is just a really beautiful knife. The handles here, we can see, have a crater texturing to them, so they are not going anywhere in your hand, but they're also not uncomfortable. It's a really comfortable pattern that fits into the hand, and look at this. I mean, that's more than a 4-finger grip. Like, and I've got small hands, y'all, but even those of you that got larger size hands, you are not gonna have a problem holding on to this thing. I wanted to give y'all a close-up of some features here, in particular the skull shield that we have here. Yeah, it's a little bit, you know, rough and tough looking, kind of tactical looking maybe. But I do like it. It kind of reminds me of the skull motif on the Chavez knives, pocket clips. So it's going to be one of those things, you either love it or you hate it. I love it. I think it gives it a lot of personality, this knife. And it fits in with the whole bad guy name, the whole bad guy theme. But another thing I want to show off, look at the size of that back spring. I mean, this is damn near a back lock. It's so close, they actually round off the inside of the back spring here, so that it acts similar to a lock back. So when you're pressing on it here, it's really hard to get it to move. But when you're ready to close it with a little bit of effort, closes right up. So yeah, just wanted to show those two features off to you guys in a nice little close-up shot here. So that is the Boker Bad Guy. I call this one the Bastard just because it reminds me of medieval bastard swords that were designed to be kind of like a midpoint between the long sword and the claymore. So this is kind of the midpoint between your classical slip joint and a full-size folding knife, the Boker Bad Guy. Well, this approach to the second bald is one of my favorite spots on this trail. Just a beautiful little section of trail that meanders through the couple trees here and then on to the second bald here. Absolutely beautiful, especially with all these clouds rolling in around us. Just can't get over the weather today. It's frozen up here, and just this wonderful wintry wind blowing across the balds.
All right, well, what do you think so far?
Hold on, man, you're a lot taller than me. You're on the same level as you.
Hang on.
Hold on.
These trails are not, oh, wait a minute. These trails are not even, and they are very slick.
Yeah.
Very muddy. 30 minutes ago, these were frozen because it was about 28 degrees. Now it's thawed out to a brisk 31. So, but we are coming up on the second bald. Let me spin this around. Second bald.
See too, it's how frozen it is up there on the left side.
Yeah, the north face.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've taken some pictures. We may roll that in here, place that in here somewhere. Just some of the frozen trees and frozen bushes up here. It is amazing. If you've never been to Roan Mountain or the Roan Highlands, it's my alma mater, but we highly recommend it. The hike is not that hard. There's 2 different directions you can go, but we recommend it. I mean, look at that view.
Second bald here, Jane Bald, and somebody has kindly told us that it's actually Mary Jane Bald, and the altitude is actually 420 feet, not 5,807. For your information.
Gosh, Enzo, what does 420 stand for?
I have no idea. Sounds like the devil's lettuce to me. Anyway, beautiful view here, of course. Pressing on, guys. We will see that third bald here shortly.
All right, guys. Stop number 2, bald number 2 here in the Roan Highlands that we are doing a knife breakdown or knife talk with you. My second knife that I'm carrying is the Kershaw Shuffle 2. The Coyote Tan handle there. It is the ACR 13 MOV blade. Both sides for you there.
Very nice.
Easy. Tonto shape. Comes with a screwdriver and a bottle opener for all of your necessary requirements. Yeah, it does have a contoured plastic molded handle, which I'm not mad about. It feels great. It's easy to clean. Same thing with the blade steel. Yeah, it's 8CR, we know, but it sharpens easily. And it still cuts.
Yep.
It's lightweight. We've done a video on this in the past. We'll pop that up in the corner here somewhere. One of my favorite knives. One of the knives that I've carried the longest. Actually, that probably is the knife I've carried the longest. So.
Tell me your favorite aspect of this knife.
Favorite aspect of this knife? Probably because it's the first knife that I went into knowing what I was looking for.
Yeah.
I didn't just, you know, oh, here's a gas station knife, you know, let me just buy that because it looks cool.
Right.
I was looking for something small, lightweight, slicey, and hey, it has a bottle opener on it. Can't go wrong with a bottle opener. So the fact that I actually looked into what I wanted,
Yeah.
and found it, and it comes in many different color patterns. So any color you can think of, they've got it. $20 to $25 depending on where you shop. Great little pocket knife. I highly recommend it.
I'm gonna go so far to say as it was the bug out before the bug out.
That's a bold statement. Bold statement.
Somebody can fight me on that.
I'm not going to disagree, but that's a bold statement. So yeah, this is pretty much always in the pocket with me wherever I go if I'm going out, because you never know what you're going to get into. It is for it being as small as it is, it's actually contoured well. You can get a 3.5 to 4 finger grip depending on your hand size. It fits really well. There's no jimping, but you do have some, I don't even know what to call that, some jimping-ish along the top, so you can get a little bit of a bite. So that's it, the Kershaw Shuffle 2.
All right, y'all, next knife up, it's another slip joint. I'm just packing the slip joints today. Not sure what's going on there, but I'm enjoying it. This is the case Sal Belly Stockman from Giraffe Bone. Let me tell you guys, this is the most impressive case that I have used in quite some time. Y'all may have heard me say before that case seems to have been slipping on their fit and finish lately, but this one is dialed in. So let me open that blade back up and show you. We've got no play on our main clip point blade. We have just a hair of play on our secondary Warncliffe blade, just a little bit, not much. And our third spay blade, no play at all, rock solid. So really great. There's just a little bit of a gap in the back springs here, nothing serious, very tiny. Our handles here, of course, are giraffe bone, so very nice exotic material, particularly on this side. The opposite side's a little more done, but not too bad. So it's a beautiful material and expertly made. I was really impressed. So I don't know, guys, maybe we should be keeping an eye on case, particularly when it's become nearly impossible to get a GEC. We're going to talk about that more in another video, but yeah, guys, keep an eye on case. Again, this is the case Sal Belly Stockman. I believe this one was made in either 2019 or 2020, so it's a recent knife. So let's keep checking out case. Hopefully they're going to start bringing the production levels back up here.
Hey, you know what this has got me thinking about?
What's that?
Well, that mist. Far over the misty mountains.
What's the next word? Call?
I think it's call.
Call. We're butchering it.
We are. Hey.
Shameful.
Shameful. But you all got the idea. Look at the clouds. We are in the clouds.
Yeah.
And they are just rolling right over these mountains.
I can see the third bald in the distance there.
Yeah.
It's not too much farther, but it's definitely an uphill climb.
But we're just a couple of hobbits. I'm not going to call us trolls. We're a couple of, you know, dwarves. But I'm not going to call us dwarves. We're a couple of hobbits making our way through the misty mountains. All right, we are coming to the apex, the summit, the pinnacle of our hike for today. Top, the third ridge, the third knoll or nub, whatever you would like to call it. Nubbin? The nubbin. Man, that brings back memories. What used to be the nubbin? Man, there was something that was the nubbin.
That's a weird question.
That's a Friends reference, I think. My wife would get that, but she doesn't watch these videos. Anyway, we're almost to the top. We'll do some more knives for you. How we doing? We doing good?
I'm doing great.
Good.
Drinking it in.
Howdy.
Hey.
Got some other hikers with us here. Let me flip you around here so you can see what I'm seeing.
Oh, look at that. My gosh.
Look at the wind, the clouds rolling right over the knoll again. So, not that you can see it, that's Tennessee. That's North Carolina. And that is our destination. Well, we're almost to the top. We haven't quite made it yet, but it is starting to get a little toasty up here.
I'm gonna shed a layer, man.
You're gonna do what?
I'm gonna shed a layer.
Shed a layer?
Shall we shed now or shall we shed later?
Sorry if we're breathing heavy. Damn near the top of the bald. As y'all can see, it's the tops of the trees and the shrubs and stuff are all frozen. It's like stepping into the tundra up here. I don't know what our elevation is here, but when we started, what was it, like 56? Yeah, 5,600. So I'm gonna guess, by the time we get to the final ball, we gotta at least be at 6,000, at least. So I'll look that up later. I'll pop in a little card and we'll see exactly what the elevation is. All right, onwards and upwards.
All right, guys, second to last stop on the hike here. We are on the North Carolina side, the state I was born in, and now I'm carrying the knife I think I was born to have, the Kizer Sheepdog XL 154 cm blade. Micarta handles. We have done some work, and by we I mean Infinite Enso here, stone washing the blade and writ dyeing it this crimson red color. We have affectionately referred to this, or started calling it, the Comanche. So this is the Comanche. We've done a short on it.
Yeah.
We didn't do a full video on it. We did do a short. You can look back in our shorts for that. But this is just a wonderful knife. Now, some people think it's scary because it's so big, and they're right. And that's totally fine. There are 3 different versions of this: the XL, the regular, and the mini. But I just prefer the XL. It fits great in the hand. For as heavy and as large as this knife is, it doesn't weigh down your pocket too much. But there's nothing this knife can't do, and there's nothing that this thick boy can't handle. So we're gonna do some other video while we're camping. This will probably cut some meat later, or chop some firewood.
Oh,
not
yeah.
really sure. But again, probably one of my, if not my favorite, definitely S-Class, the Kizer Sheepdog XL.
Now y'all know that we weren't going to come up here without neck knives, and of course you saw Walsh's Condor earlier. Well, I'm carrying the CRKT Minimalist in D2. This is a Smoky Mountain Knife Works exclusive edition, and I gotta say, guys, I really like it. So as I said, D2 blade, really cool buoy kind of blade here, and micarta handles. These are a natural tan micarta, super comfortable. What I like about this one is that the handles are a little bit thicker than the old school minimalists. So it gives you a nice purchase in hand. Now, me personally, I take the lanyards off of these, but they do come stock with a little lanyard on the back for your 4th finger to hold on to. However, for me, the 3-finger grip just feels really good to me on these. The thing that I really like about these, and that I thank Wolfman for getting me onto these, is that they carry so light and they print so small. You would never know that nobody would know that you're carrying this knife. It's just very compact, very subtle, and at the end of the day, it's ready to do a lot of work for you. And now that they have it available in D2, there's also a D2 variant from Blade HQ. I would suggest, if you're going to spend the money on a neck knife, the CRKT Minimalist in D2 is definitely worth checking out. All right, y'all, yet another awesome neck knife. Now, I know y'all know this one. This is the Ezzy Zula II, and boy, oh boy, this might be the king of the neck knives. I don't know if it's technically a neck knife. I mean, I treat it like it is one, but one way or another, it is an awesome small fixed blade. What we have here is coated 1095 steel in this beautiful classic drop point design. And man, these micarta handle scales, I freaking love these micarta handle scales. That's enough to sell me on the Azula 2 versus the Azula 1. Very comfortable in hand, very ergonomic. For me, now I have small size hands, but I can get a 4-finger grip on here. I feel like most people can probably cram their fingers up. But even if you can't, you can add a lanyard to this little hole in the back here and give yourself a little bit of extra purchase. Nice jimping at the top. So yeah, just a knife that's ready to do some work. And hey, the best part is, if you beat this thing up too much, let's say you break the blade somehow, maybe you're doing something stupid, doesn't matter what you did to it, Ezzy will cover it for you and they will warranty it for life. So really worth the money, a knife that will actually last you a lifetime, the Ezzy Zula II.
And for the last stop on our trip here to the Roan Highlands, we're back on the Tennessee side. Look at that view. I don't know if you can tell, but the north face side of those mountains are still frozen. It was 27 degrees when we got here. But that's just good camping.
Exactly.
What else is good for camping? The Benchmade DAD 275. That's a shameless plug. Look at that beast. Isn't it a thing of beauty? This was a gift from my brother-in-law who is currently serving overseas. Thank you, sir, for your service and for the knife. With the Adamas 275 in crew wear, that's a beast of a blade. You can beat this thing and it'll beat you back. I love the handles. I love the axis lock. This is my first knife that I've owned with an axis lock, so I've had a lot of fun getting used to the play with it.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty much an adult fidget, flipper. Your kids have the spinner thing. This is the adult version. Great in the hand, great ergos. It feels great. A lot of people complain about this kind of like internal jimping on the handle. I think that's great.
Yeah,
I think that's
that.
Gives you more grip.
Gives you more purchase.
More purchase. I love it. There's nothing I can say. There is a lanyard hole, but this thing's big enough. You don't need a lanyard hole with this thing.
Why don't you show off that logo that's been monogrammed onto it?
Okay, you see that?
Got the focus. There we go.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Wolfman.
Classic.
Because as we all know, the world needs wolves. Would you expect anything less from me?
Amen.
The world needs wolves. So, just look at that view.
Yeah. Just drink it in for a minute.
What we were discussing earlier, this is our version of church. Whether you go to church or nature is your church, or whether you don't, I don't care. This is our version of church.
Yes, sir.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
The wind is probably awful right now, but we're gonna do the best we can. So right back here is either a beach mountain or sugar, I don't know. But that's also Grandfather Mountain. That's where we'll be at tomorrow morning, doing a little bit of, not necessarily hiking because you just park and walk up, but there is a swinging bridge up there, the Sky Bridge for those who don't know. So we'll take some video and some photos over there tomorrow as well. Infinite Enso there had to put in a call to his dad to make him jealous that he's not here and that we're having a lot of fun. So this has been a blast. Well, we've done all that we can do up here.
Mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished. You ready to head back down?
Let's head back down. Gotta get back to camp.
Whoa.
And
Got some beer brats.
get some beer brats. We got some, maybe a little bit of beer. Got some fire prep to do. So we'll see y'all there. All right, y'all, we are back at camp. Mr. Walsh here is hatcheting away on a big old piece of log that we found. And in a minute, we're gonna do maybe a little bit of light batoning with the Gerber strong arm, which is my favorite go-to outdoor knife. So thank you again, Mr. Walsh, for for hunting down some firewood for us.
Hit some stout stuff.
No doubt, man. Yeah, that stuff was intense. Yeah, we found this big old log down by the creek, and God, it's like ironwood. Well, my favorite thing about the Gerber strong arm, aside from the sheath, which is really great for what you pay for this knife, this is just an awesome all-around outdoor knife. It's not your, obviously it's not your big shopper, but it's great for breaking down some fire prep, stuff like that. And my favorite thing to do with it is a little bit of light batoning on a nice piece of wood like this. And you can see how it just blows it apart.
Now, what type of steel are we dealing with?
420 HC on the strong arm, so nothing crazy. But you know what? The thing about 420 HC is it sharpens right up when you're done with it. So it's a great steel for this kind of stuff. It can take a beating, and hell, I mean, worst case scenario, you can sharpen it on a damn rock, you know. So it's good to go for that. And we're also going to do a little bit of some feather stick and stuff like that. I got a few other knives we're going to take a look at. But yeah, that's the Gerber strong arm, guys. Really recommend that for just an all-around utility camp knife. Probably not the greatest for food prep. You can see how thick that stock is. I believe that's about 3/16 of an inch on that. So very thick stock, but that means it can handle some serious abuse.
All right, up next, we're going 2 for 1 here. We're gonna do my Kizer Sheepdog XL versus the Benchmade Adamas 275. See which one's a little bit better with the feather sticking. Can't promise I'll do any batoning. I love these knives too much, but let's see how they cut. We're gonna start with the Kizer Sheepdog.
All right.
Oh man, immediately It
Yeah.
digs, and it digs deep.
Yeah, look, it's going right into it.
Again, this is a 154 cm,
Mm.
and it just, oh, it's money. Now
Look at
that could be because of the weight of the blade as well.
Yeah.
But I mean,
That
that's
big cleaver blade, yeah.
I mean, look how thick.
Now I'm gonna tell you guys, that's my sharpening job there.
That
is.
is that's a pretty good sharpening job. It cuts.
Oh my gosh.
There's
man.
no
It's biting right into it.
There is no issue here. All right, Essie, you got your competition right there. But no, wow, that does pretty,
You know what?
pretty
I
well.
think if I'm putting my money on it, I think that one's gonna perform better than the Benchmade, since the Benchmade has that combo grind.
True.
It might be, you have a little less area to work with there. Yeah.
Valid point, valid point. Let's see how she does.
Yeah.
We'll start off here with the straight edge. Doesn't bite, it actually skates pretty well.
It's
But
doing
it's
a decent
cut.
job.
It's not biting the way that other one did.
Mm.
I'm having to put more
Force into it.
force into it.
Yeah.
And that doesn't work that way, but I don't know, maybe that would bite pretty well.
Hey, look at that, yeah. Okay.
So, yeah, actually,
Yeah,
the
that's-
serrated edge is biting better.
That's for doing great.
So for, you know, making your fire kiln, use the serrated edge. For cutting whatever you cook on that fire, use the straight
It's the
edge.
straight edge, yeah, there you go.
So, I mean,
Yeah,
so this was the Benchmade side, lots of little pieces.
yeah.
This was the Kizer side, big
Yeah.
pieces. So
Nicely done.
Can't really, you know, I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to go with the Kizer for that one.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. That did a beautiful job. Hey, so if we're talking about outdoor folders, I don't know that you can do better than the Cold Steel 4MAX Scout. This thing is an absolute beast. What you're getting here is, if I can open it one-handed, in these gloves I cannot. What you're getting here is 4 inches of OS 10A steel. It's a very tough steel. It's kind of a middle of the road steel, but it's got plenty of toughness to take care of tasks like this. And the edge retention is pretty good too, and it's stainless. So we're gonna take I gotta admit, y'all, I'm a little antsy about it. I don't like batoning with folders, but this is a damn 4MAX, you know? We're gonna do some batoning with this thing. There you go. No play, guys. Lockup is rock solid. So I gotta tell you, you're not supposed to do this, but if you want to do it, the 4MAX Scout is not gonna let you down. So we brought along the Bark River Bravo Century. Really nice little woodworking knife. Mainly we brought this to do some feather sticking, stuff like that. I'm gonna tell y'all right off the bat, the wood that we have here today is very hard wood. Maybe it's cedar, not sure what it is. But so this may not be the most impressive feather sticking you've ever seen. But just so y'all can get kind of an appreciation of the convex grind that this knife has, we're gonna do a little bit here. And it's very good at splitting pieces off, giving you there we go, like nice little curls. Perfect stuff for fire starting and for kindling, and stuff like that to get your big old fire going. But I gotta say, it's a fun, even though it's a small knife, for me, with my small hands, always remember, I do not have large hands, so don't take my hands as an example. But for me, I get a 4-finger grip on it, no problem. You can see here, there we go. Great example here of how it bites in and digs. Y'all can see that. So it's a great little knife for this kind of task. The Bark River Bravo Century. Let me get my hand positioned better so y'all can appreciate that. White G10 handles on this, by the way. Very nicely radiused, very, very well rounded. And the blade is made out of CPM 154, one of my absolute favorite steels. Just a really, really well designed powder metallurgy steel based off of the old school 154 CM. So the Ezzy Zula II is up next, and what we wanted to show y'all off on this one, first of all, the sheath is great. Kind of this, it's not nothing crazy, it's just a plastic, but it's designed very well. Retention is strong. That's one of my favorite things about that sheath. Blade steel, of course, is 1095. Now, as opposed to the Bark River that was CPM 154 with a convex, this is 1095 with a full flat grind. So it's probably not going to bite and dig as well as the Bark River does. It's not going to do woodworking in general quite as well as the Bark River does. But you know what? Any kind of task that you need for camping, for hiking, this thing's going to just take care of it, no problem. So we've got this little piece of wood here. We're going to do a little bit of feather sticking. Again, this is really hard wood, so y'all just bear with me. Y'all can critique my technique if you want. This is not I'm not the master here. But as you can see, again, like the Bark River, it'll whittle those feathers right off for you. Nice curls there. All the stuff that you need for fire starting, this knife will take care of for you. And it's about, Jesus, sometimes you can get this for a quarter of the price of the Bark River. Most of the time it's about half the price. So, you know, for that you're getting a knife that's going to be able to take care of these kinds of tasks with a lifetime warranty, which the Bark River also comes with in its defense, but you're spending a lot less money. So anyway, that's the Ezzy Zula II.
All right, up next is the Condor Carlitos 1075. Still, we're going to compare this one to the Ezzy Zula II and see how it does. This one is in 1075 versus the 1095. It does have this nice hollow grind here. We'll see how it does.
How thick is that blade stock there? Let's flip it on its side for me.
Not as thick as the Ezzy.
Yeah, a little bit thinner. Okay.
We will see how it does here. Again, our technique may not be perfect, but we'll do our best. Oh yeah, it bites pretty good.
It's biting right in. You said it's a hollow grind on that one?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Oh yeah.
It'll make some curls, feather it right out. Again, not much for chopping down a tree, but if you're starting a fire, you need that kiln. This will do just fine. I don't know. It may be pretty even right now between those two.
Yeah, it seems that way.
Some nice curls there. What do you think? Should we baton it? We'll
do a little miniature batoning.
Yeah, miniature batoning. Here we
go. Hey, all right. I think you should baton the Ezzy now.
We should go back and baton
Where's
the
Ezzy at? It's right there.
Here.
Yeah.
Right. Let's see. That was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty good. Let me put this up before.
See, my theory is that the thinness of the stock on that is going to allow it to kind of dig in better.
Now that was pretty thin. Let's see. Oh, here's one the exact same size. All right.
A little miniature batoning here.
Miniature. There we go.
Yep.
That took an extra second. Okay. All right. Two big differences there.
Okay.
This one, the Condor, bit immediately.
Yeah.
And didn't take one whack to get through. This one took a couple.
Yeah.
I guess that flat grind
Yeah.
versus the hollow grind makes a difference. But once this one got started,
Right.
it went straight down.
Right.
This
yeah.
one took an additional 2 whacks. So for starting, sure, start with this one, pull it out, put this one in, finish the job.
Okay.
I'd say right now we're pretty much, this is pretty even.
Yeah, I mean, they both offer different approaches to taking care of similar problems. You know, obviously the Ezzy's probably going to be the more robust one with that thicker blade stock, but for this kind of a task,
Sure.
you don't need
that again there?
Yeah, you don't need that crazy thick blade stock. So we can see the differences here. Again, I don't have the exact specs for you guys, unfortunately, but obviously the Condor is quite a bit thinner on the blade stock. So that thing's going to be ready to bite in and slice a little bit sooner than the Ezzy will. But the Ezzy will do just as good for you in the end.
Yeah. So far, I have the same as Zula. I think I paid about 65 or 70 bucks. This was right at about 55, 60, so $10 less, but...
Do we know what the warranty is on that?
Oh, I don't.
Okay.
If there's one, maybe we'll pop it
I
in
think,
there.
yeah, we'll look into that and we'll put some information up about that.
But so far, I'm pretty impressed.
Nice.
I'm not gonna lie.
Nice. And it's got a great sheath too. So.
Great sheath.
Yeah. All
On
right.
to the next one. All right, so what I'm gonna do next is I wanna take 3 of my smallest knives, completely different in every shape, form, and fashion. We've got a Tonto 8 CR13 MOV. We've got a Cleaver D2, and then we've got the Condor drop point in 1075. So let's just see which ones.
3 different steels. Yeah.
3 different
perfect.
steels, 3 different shapes.
Yeah.
Couldn't be any more different. Let's see how slicey 1075 is. Like butter.
Yeah, that hollow grind's going to do well for you in stuff like this.
All right, let's try the D2 Cleaver.
My money so far is on the Condor.
All right.
D2 did pretty good too.
D2 did pretty good too. Now Now, while this may be an oldie and a favorite, I think this will be kind of the bottom end. Tonto, gonna have a little bit of slippage there where this one with the belly cut constantly, this one cut straight because it's the straight edge. I think the Tonto may have a little bit of a slip to it, but we'll see. Sorry, my hands are cold. It's only 28 degrees out here. Yeah, that had a little bit more of a pull to it. Yeah, I don't know. That was pretty close. I'd give it probably to the Condors a little bit slicier. With the straight edge of the CRKT Minimalist, it did its work.
Yeah, my money's on the Condor, I think. That thing is pretty awesome and perfectly designed for slicing tasks, so yeah. Anyway, great examples of 3 different steels here. That is 8CR 13 MOV in the Kershaw, D2 on the CRKT, and 1075 on the Condor. So props to our master fire maker, Mr. Wolfman Walsh here. Beautiful job, and as you can see, he is economically minded. He's got our wet pieces of timber here next to the fire to dry out, and we actually just forged all this. We didn't buy any. Fortunately, we're right next to that creek down there that I showed y'all earlier, and we were able to find a lot of deadfall and just all kinds of dead wood over there down by the creek. So fortunately, most of it wasn't wet either. It was all
It's
above.
hard. Boy,
it's hard. Yeah, it's pretty tough, but it was all above the ground, so it didn't get wet. So yeah, we're getting going here, guys. Getting cooking. Y'all, the consummate cooking professional, Mr. Wolfman Walsh here, has cooked us up a wonderful breakfast. Still cooking, but it's going to be good. Some eggs and some pork and some cheese. It's going to be tasty. Anyway, we're going to hang out here a little bit longer, and then we're going to, I think, head up to Grandfather Mountain. So should be some good times. Well, Wolfman, why don't you tell them how cold it got last night?
Well, I don't know for certain, but when I woke up this morning and checked, it was 25, and that was at about 6:30.
Okay, so I think it's safe to say
it was a little bit colder.
A little bit colder than that.
I can tell you from experience, it was not 14. The rain flies on our tents were frozen, and ice crystals, but we're good now. We're good.
Yep.
We were properly prepared and properly insulated.
Thank God.
So,
be a lot better after some breakfast too.
Warm on the inside. To really drive home the point of it was cold, look at the ice. Look at the ice on my rain fly.
Oh God.
So I don't know how cold it got, but like I said, when I looked it was 25. I'm sure it got colder, but ice.
Yeah, chilly night.
It was fun though.
Yeah, it was fun.
Well, we're here at Grandfather Mountain, Sky Bridge in North Carolina.
You have to pardon us for the audio, y'all. The wind is
it's a little windy up here. Yeah. We're a mile above sea level, on top of a giant, granite mountain. If you look way off in the distance, kind of at a round knoll, if you can see it, that's where we were.
I'll zoom in on it here a little bit. There you go.
That's where we were earlier. We were on that tip, we'll say. We were at 6,129 feet over there. This just seems higher because it's a sheer drop-off.
Right.
Those were the balls. In front of us, ski resorts. Man, if we'd been here about a week earlier, all the leaves still on the trees, this would have been quite the shot. It's still
pretty.
It's still pretty though.
Yeah.
So this unofficially brings our trip
to a close. Yeah.
Minus the 3.5 hour car ride home.
Yeah, I'm sure y'all don't want to be seeing footage of that, of us just sitting in the car. So thanks y'all for stopping by and for tuning in, and wait for this wind to pass. But yeah, thanks y'all for stopping by and for visiting the channel. And hopefully me and Walsh get to do more stuff like this soon. Around the camp. Thanks guys. We will see y'all next time. And I've always liked blades with belly, and this buoy style knife, this buoy style clip point, kind of has a good let me just take this one from the top. Well, we're not going to come up here without neck knives. Y'all saw Walsh's Condor earlier. I'm carrying the CRKT Minimalist in D2. This is the Smoky Mountain Knife Works. God dang it! When you open the floodgates,
Yeah, outtakes.
so you know that. Just let it roll. So y'all know that we weren't going to come up here. So y'all know that we weren't going to come up here without neck knives. So y'all saw. Is there somebody over there?
No.
Okay, good. Let's see this idiocy. Let it roll. Okay. The rain in Spain falls mainly on the plains.
Oh, good job, Aubrey Hepburn.
The ants from France are prancing up my pants. Okay.